Hey, DJ here from PTA. Want to go over a few stocks this day. Today was a green day. Um, wasn't necessarily pleased with my performance this day. Definitely overtraded. Was getting really irritated by this stock, but we're gonna go over it. Kind of map out everything just so that you can get an idea of how I was playing the stock, what I was thinking, so on and so forth. But want to start off with the SPY. Like I told you guys, we're still, in a downtrend. As far as I know, we talked about this before, where I told you that typically, this would have been the start of the uptrend, but it had to break out of the zone. So remember when the stock fell down, this was support. It bounced, and then I was looking for something here to continue on going up. But what happened was, unfortunately, it just went down, and it continued to went down. Now, what was interesting was that this day, which was yesterday after the Fed numbers, people really got confident in believing that the stock was going to go up for some reason. And I think a lot of people got smoked really bad because, it ended the day high. It rallied up, and then the next day it just gapped down, and it's been gapping down. That's what these spaces are, just basically gap downs. So let's take that down to the 5 minute, and this is the price action that happened yesterday. This is right after the Fed minute dropped down, and then they ripped it up and then ended higher for the day, and then it kept trailing up, and then they just slammed it, for the rest of the day, and we actually made a new low, yearly low. So it's something that, the market is down. They finally threw out the R word with the recession. This is just where we're at. We're trying to figure out where the bottom is, and that's no way of doing. So the biggest thing is to play what you see on the chart. As far as everything goes when it comes to the SPY, I would be looking at a downtrend, any type of put options and stuff like that to help mitigate that, because I don't really see a reversal in sight for a while. And that's just, what it is. You know what I'm saying? If we look at this is what you see. This is going all the way back to 1993. So, fast forwarded, we had a nice little run. This is that COVID pullback, rally back up, and then we got another pullback. So, where I would be concerned at is if it gets down to, the 340s. That's when I'll be like, okay, this is definitely a much different pullback than we used to seeing. So, 339, 340 area, yeah, that's probably a good area to bounce, but we some ways from that. So today was a small winner relative to size and everything. But let's go over a few ones. So ADN came. Really an interesting trade altogether, but let me draw the areas for you just so you kind of know what to look for next time in the stock. So this right here was an area. Obviously it gapped over that. Let's see something here. That was an area. See all the confusion, the breakdown. So we're gonna make this 390. Let's see something. That's the breakdown of there. Bounce. Right there. 317. We're around at the 320. So it rejected there, washed away. Next one was probably right here. So we'll call that 680. All right, so I'm looking at two key areas in this. So let's go down to an hour. So it pretty much ran up into that area and then pulled back. So let's go back into a 5 minute. All right, so yeah, it had a nice move up. Definitely looked like that was a key area there. So probably let's go back to the 30 minute. No, it's on the 15. So looking at the stock, yeah, it was the 15. Could have played it off the 5 too, but it was the 15. So right there, we had a bunch of sideways price action right there. This is probably the good entry right off of this 320 area into the break to go higher, because this was nothing but this regular price action. So sideways price action. So I mean, you probably could have played it off of here. I'm just saying, you know, looking at the chart, you would have got a quick pop up to 368 from the $3 area, and then this is probably a better play right here going into it. 325, 326 entry somewhere right here, and then it rolled up, hit that 390, rejected it in impulse, and then eventually pulled up over it and got to 448. So that was a clean play. That wasn't too bad. Definitely had to wait and be patient with it, but I mean, the price definitely hit all the lines. So it hit it pretty hard there. That's probably been the area where most buyers stepped in right there off of that. Just because we had these actual movement down and then an actual bounce back up. So yeah, I was thinking that was probably the area. This was probably the first load up was around 3s, and then it popped 365, pulled back, and then it popped again straight into resistance, and then it finally acted as support. So decent trade for those who took advantage of the ADN. All right, so next stock on the agenda, SIDU. So SIDU came off of good news from the day before. As you've seen in my other video, yesterday's video, took a hit because I mistimed it. So I think a little bit of FOMO came in today, simply because I was a little irritated by the move that I missed yesterday. And in the day, I mean, they just pretty much was shitting on this stock from the day, from start to finish. And we had this big rally coming into the morning. This was hitting a key area. So let me show you these key areas, because I did show it on the other video, and you go check that out when you get a chance. But the other video showed those key areas. So like one of them was here, which was the $8. So 8 was a key area. Let's see here. That was a key area at we'll just call it 1190. But yeah, 8 was the key area. So ultimately, I was looking for a break over 8, and every time that it came back and touched it, I played it. So let's circle this down to the 5 minute, so you guys can kind of see the chart. So let me see something here. Make sure I got all the areas. Okay, that might have been the area there. Yeah, that was below. Nope. Yep. So yeah, 8 was the area. So the thing was that once it started hitting these areas, it just, I saw it, so I didn't think nothing of it. Oh, I'm sorry. I know what the areas are. That was from the day before. So let me draw the areas from the day before. So let me see something here. Yeah, that was the area right there. That 550. That was the area. And then I think that was it. I think that might have been an area too. 990. All right, cool. That's enough drawing for right now. So go back to the 5 minute. So one of the things I noticed was that it was hitting all the areas. It hit this 550, slam, came back up, and then it went into this 8. So how aggressively it was at this 8 is what made me interested. And I mean, this is pretty much how the day started. I mean, we had this big wash, which I was anticipating. I was looking for a hold here, right around this 688, 690 area, right? So what happened is, we're going to paint this purple because it's entry day. What happened is that it hit this major resistance, chopped up, pulled away, hit that 690, came back up, and then right here, when it ran up like this, it halted. And then it just went sporadic. Then it dropped. So when it went sporadic and then dropped, it came right back. This was the first play where I actually missed this. I was looking at something else, and when it pulled back, I was screaming $8. I was like, if it holds $8, we're good. And it held it right here. When it came down, it kept buying it up. They couldn't get it below this 8 point. It ripped. And, you know, I was looking at about a 831 or something like that entry. And then it popped up to 922. And then it flushed. So when I missed that and it broke down, I said, okay, this stock don't know which way it wants to go. So I waited a while. And then they knifed it right here. So when they knifed it, they pulled it back down to this 690 area. Okay, cool. So then what I did in looking at it, I said, well, you know, when it did this consolidation, this right here was my first entry. When I saw this, I said, okay, this stock can move. So it went sideways. I got in off this pop. It pulled back, didn't get me out. And then it rallied on up to here. So I was looking for this area right here, this pre-market high to break. I took some shares off here, put the rest at break even, and then it got me out. Then it continued to break down. I said, okay, cool. It got me out. So then it came back. And then the next move, I got in. It ran up, came back. I waited for the retest, saw this, broke down, and then I got in at like 810. Then it went up to the 870s. I caught myself taking some off, and then it got me out. I think it was like 811. Yeah, I got in. Got me out right here in this candle. Got me out. So okay, whatever. So then it did it again. So when it wrapped back around and then it started showing it was holding, I got in again, thinking it was going to do this, maybe pull back and then go. Because at this time, you know, we halfway through the day. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm okay. It's going to do this little move and then I'm good. So when it did this move again, I jumped in again, ran up. But this time, I didn't take anything off. I held it, and it came down, and then it just jacked down and got me out. So took a small loss there. Still didn't break the bank because I did well on the other 2 trades. But at this point, you know, I've already traded this twice. Good. I should have walked away. But because I was so confident in this stock moving, I mean, it did 84% of its volume from the day before. I was so confident that this was moving. It had already rotated its float like 5 times. I was so confident. I just kept playing it. and that's what ended up getting me to lose on this turn here. So lesson, like, when you ain't hit the stock twice and made money off of it, leave it alone. I mean, you already got what you came for, which was to have a successful trade and to take a little bit of the meat off the bone. But, with me, I was trying to be greedy because I just knew it was going to go. And what I was trying to do when it got back down here, which was a good demand zone, I wanted to get it here. I missed it. I said, okay, when it retests 8, and when it did this number, it trapped. So when it did that number, I jumped in, thinking, okay, this thing can go higher. I'm thinking it might have did that number, pull back to maybe here, and then continue on, knock out this 922 area, and I was looking at least a $2-3 move, but we didn't get it today. Now, is this going to be on watch tomorrow? Yeah, guaranteed. I definitely probably be looking at this stock, looking at these previous zones to see where this can go, because it had really good news on the first day. And as I talked about in the other video, how I messed up on that trade and I took a loss. But essentially, I knew it was going to go up, but just my timing was off. So, yeah, is this going to be on radar tomorrow? Oh, most definitely. It's definitely going to be something I'm looking at. The volume is there. So we're going to see how it works out tomorrow. Siga caught it moving a little bit today. The reason being, there was some news that came out about some cases of monkeypox in New York. I actually dropped that inside the Discord, so the members saw that as well. But ultimately, that's why Siga was moving today, I believe. It was because of that news. I think people were trying to set up to get in there a little early. What it ended up doing was this little move here. And unfortunately, I was in Sidu when this move happened. So I ended up not playing it. And it was a nice small move, nothing too fancy or crazy. But, Sidu, that would have been a really good play had I got in on that first initial $8 push. So it's always, if you pay attention, stocks are going to push from an area. It's going to push from a resistance, supply zone, demand zone, whatever you want to call it. It's going to push from that area. And your key is just to figure out what the area is and watch how the stock behave in that area. So I hope this will help. This is definitely a good lesson on why you should not FOMO trade, but we all do it. It's all part of the game. So lesson learned. So guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Click subscribe. Put on a notification so you don't miss none of my material. And we're trying to put as much material out there for the community. So guys, even if you have ideas or whatever, drop it in the Discord, drop it in the comments. We'll be sure to read those and take those things into consideration. All right, guys, as I tell everyone out there, new or old, in this trading world, stay studying and stay focused.